So let's first cover what we're going to be working with during this training. Let's run through the Power BI desktop file that we're going to create from scratch. And then also let's have a quick look at the data that we are going to query and we're going to feed into the Power BI report. So first off, we're looking at a dashboard. This is the end result. This is what we're going to build from scratch, from the raw data that we're going to bring in to all the calculations and the data modeling and the visualizations. So this will be the end results. What we're looking at here is the sales performance for a retail site for a company that sells a range of different products and have different stores. So what we can do, we can start this summary here. We have our key metrics on the side, as you can see, like total profits, total sales, total quantity, profit margins, and some historical comparisons. And also things like total sales per county, profit margins, and total profits by a particular date, and so on and so forth. So there's a huge amount of information that we can discover on this dashboard. If we were to say to click on a particular area such as county, then we could drill on that county specifically, and we could even go further and look at particular stores. For instance, if we want to evaluate a store in Torrance, we could click into that store, and then we would retrieve all the information for that particular store. So, from a insight perspective, there is an immense amount of insight we could get from a dashboard on Power BI or a report. That's why we're going to work from right from the start and getting the raw data and then trying to reproduce something like this. So by the end of this training, I have no doubt that you'll all be able to create something like a report like this, which has this dynamic filtering effect that allows you to filter through and dive into information really quickly and very efficiently. And I believe also you'll be able to translate this, be able to do this on your own data. So once you work through this, there'll be a lot of things you will learn and you'll be able to grasp with Power BI and put you in a really good position to replicate this methodology for your own data sets. So let's have a quick look at the raw data and see what it looks like before we start developing the report and jumping to the querying of this data. So this is the data that we are going to bring into our Power BI model to start off with. So if we have a quick review on this, we can see some sales information. Now, ideally, all the sales information would be in one table, but in this case, actually, we have three different tables of sales for each different year. The reason why we've done this is actually to showcase the number of advanced transformations that you could do in Power BI. So I don't want to make it so simple that if you went back into your environment and you can do something advanced, you would not be able to how to do it. So in this example, I have built a scenario where we actually have to do some relatively advanced transformations, just so you could understand the true power of the Power Query editor in Power BI. One of these advanced transformations is appending informations. So we have three different sets of information which are essentially the same financial information, but we need to make one table out of these. So we'll be going through that. But we've also got information on our products. This is a products list. We also have location, um, uh, locations. We also have some location information, which is a location. So this is all the information from California, all the different counties, all the different cities, and also some additional information around income, households area. We also have a table on customers, and also got some data on our salespeople. We also have some other information here, which we won't use so much in this course, but we can be used, which actually goes through some budgeting and also some date range work, which you can also integrate into your models if you wanted to. So finally, if we look through this table here, this is a transaction table, and it's called a fact table. and we go into this in more depth in later on, especially around data modeling, because this is a very different model, a different table than the other tables there, like location, salespeople. But this table is linked up to all these other tables through these index codes. So this is how we showcase what we need to do in terms of relationship, and we'll be going through that later in the data modeling section. But all we need from this particular table to run all the substantial analysis that we need to create in Power BI is the quantity and just the price and the purchase date. Everything else that we do is done internally in Power BI. And as we work through the examples, through a range of techniques within Power BI Desktop, you'll see how such with a small amount of information or a small amount of columns, I would say, there's a lot you can extract. There's an immense amount of you can extract through Power BI, and Power BI allows you to build upon this raw data substantially. Um, so don't just think you could just sum of the quantity or quantity times trust. There's an immense amount of information you could get branching out into much advanced analysis using time, intelligence, or moving averages, or through a concept of DAX patterns, which we'll go into later on. So hopefully that gives you a good overview or understanding of the scenario that we'll be working with. We've gone through the Power BI desktop file. We've also gone through the data. By the end of the day, we're trying to draw insight about the sales of the retail stores. So as we work through the course, don't forget that always have that in the back of your mind that what we're trying to achieve in the analysis and trying to build or develop models much more easier.